about you, but I'm kind of in this place where I feel this collapsing. And I think some of it is spending a lot of time in front of a computer screen, whether connecting with people or working. And I can just feel that collapse and wanting to kind of contract inward. And it's starting to kind of feel a little bit dark, a little bit heavy. So you might be feeling that as well. So just allow yourself to just be with that, to honor that, to recognize that in the darkest places can be the greatest treasure. So the lotus grows from the deepest mud, and it's the most beautiful. Some of the lotus flowers come out pure and white, and the lotus is a symbol of purity. So if we can just tap into these deep, dark places that might feel a little scary, a little depressed, a little contracted, then maybe we can tap into that seed, that lotus seed within us, and allow ourselves to begin to blossom, to begin to grow, to move up through the muddy waters, to enjoy the light of the sun. So we'll actually start standing today. You can just come to the top of your mat if you like, or just let your feet be nice and wide. And we'll breathe in, taking the arms out to the side. Let the knees be a little bit soft. And as your hands make their way together, just a little lift through the chest, but push the hips forward a little bit just so you don't collapse in the lower back. Let the hands touch or fingertips touch, and then opening the arms out and just bring the hands in front of the pelvis. And as you're moving with this, breathing in and reaching out and up, expanding, you can just tune in to where you feel that feeling of collapse or contraction in the body, or even in your mind, and just be present to it. Allow it to be there. And exhale, letting the arms come down, hands touching together. Inhale, reaching up. Bend the knees just a little more. Move the hips forward just a little more as the hands come together. And then as you take the arms out and down, just allow yourself to start to curl in. So we're beginning to exaggerate that contraction and expansion. Breathing in as you reach out and up. Breathing out as you fold. And just going easy. Go at your own rhythm, your own pace, following your rhythm of breath. And one more time. As you reach out and up, push the hips forward, reach back and up. And as you exhale, let the hips draw back. Let the shoulders drop forward. And we'll slowly roll up to standing. And let the feet come hip distance apart, parallel to each other. Let the chin drop towards the chest. And the weight of your head start to roll you forward with the knees bent. Just take a hand. You can blow through the lips to relax your jaw. Then bend the knees. Let the hips push forward as you roll up. Let the throat come forward and the chin lift. Then exhale, let the chin tuck towards your chest, rolling forward. And one more time to roll up. Then we'll breathe in, let the arms rise up. The hands make their way together overhead. And let the armpits press forward, the sit bones press forward. Breathe into the heart. Feel yourself stretching just a little bit more from your fingers and your tailbone in the opposite direction. Opening the hands, taking a forward fold. Letting the hands come to the outsides of the feet, shifting your weight to your right leg. Let the left leg lift. Soften into the right knee. Take a big step back with the left foot and let that knee gently come to the earth. Bring both hands to the right knee, drawing back, pushing the hips forward as the shoulders come back. And then exhale, gently folding, bringing the hands to the mat. Let the right foot come to meet the left. You can come to the knees, or you can come into a plank. Let the sit bones press forward, shifting your weight forward to lower all the way to the mat. Then we'll come onto the tips of the fingers, press the toes, press the pubic bone into the floor, and let the breath lift the chest. Throat can come forward, chin can lift. Plant the palms, push to the knees, pushing the hips forward, activating your chest. Then curl the toes under to come into a downward facing dog, letting your head release. Feel the heels sinking as your toes spread. Ribs hug together as you look at the navel. Then we'll walk the feet forward to the hands. Soften the knees. Let the arms reach out to the side. Let the hips press forward. And feel the heart lift as the arms come overhead. Opening out. Soften into the knees, just melting forward. Letting the hands come next to the feet. Shifting your weight to your left leg. Right leg lifts. Giant step back. And let the right knee come down. Both hands come onto the left knee. You can push against the leg, push the hips forward, and let the head come back. The throat can lift, chin can lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Stepping back either to the knees or to your plank. Pushing the hips forward as you rock forward and lower. Again, come into this cobra shape on the tips of the fingers, press into the feet. Press into the pubic bone, breathe in to lift. Plant the palms, pressing to the knees. Sit bones press forward. Then curl the toes under, come into downward facing dog. Gazing at the navel, sit bones pressing towards your ribs. Then walking your feet to your hands. Bend the knees a little bit. Let the hips roll under you, arms reach out and up, and arms come overhead. Maybe you feel a little more stretch through the spine, but keep pushing those hips forward. Opening out, exhale, folding as you bend the knees, hands next to the feet, lift the left leg, soften the right, left foot lands, left knee comes down. Now let the hips press forward. This time we'll take the arms up. Inhale as you reach. Exhale, hands come to the mat. We'll step back to a plank. You can also go to the knees if you prefer. Sit bones press forward as you rock forward. Elbows touch the ribs, coming towards the mat. Maybe you come all the way to the belly and lift to cobra again, or maybe you come to up dog. If you're in up dog, pushing the sit bones forward. So let the front body open. Exhale, tuck the chin. Gently lifting the hips to take your feet over. And we're in our down dog shape, letting the head go. From here, you might choose to walk forward. You might choose to float. Just let the feet come to your hands. Soften into the knees. Let the hips roll under you as the arms reach out to the side, floating up. Hands might come together overhead. Opening out as you soften the knees. Cascading over the legs. Let the hands come next to the feet. Right leg lifts. soften the left knee to gently land the right foot. Then the right knee comes down. Let the sit bones press forward. Arms rise up. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step back to your plank or to the knees. Sit bones press forward to rock forward and lower. Breath in, opening to your back bend, press into the feet. Press the sit bones forward, opening the front body. And tuck the chin to lift the hips and flip the feet over. Heels sinking towards the earth, head releasing. Letting your breath empty, whether you walk forward or float. Take your feet to your hands. Woo, overshot myself. Feet together, we'll bend the knees. Roll the hips under. Arms reach out to the side, rising up. Hands together. And exhale, just let the hands come together in front of the heart. And just feel where you are, feel your feet on the earth. Just feeling your breath, allow your center of gravity to drop a little bit, and we'll bring the big toes to touching, the heels apart just a little bit. Bend the knees. Again, let the hips roll under you, and as the arms come up, let the armpits press forward. Throat can come forward, chin can lift. Then exhale, taking a forward fold. This time we'll come into a flat back. Hands can come to the shins. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, whether you step back to plank or float back to low chaturanga. Elbows close in to lower. Breath in, opening to your back bend. Breath out, shin tucks, hips lift to come into your down dog. Looking at the navel, breathing, feeling the sit bones hugging in towards your ribs. From here, we'll take the right leg up and back. Breath in, toes can spread. Knee to nose, we'll step forward, coming to warrior one. Left heel grounding, each foot on its own track, and let the sit bones press forward just slightly as you uncurl to your warrior one. Hands can come together, or you can keep them apart. Press the armpits forward a little bit, press the hips forward, sink into that right knee. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Take your time, stepping back. Right foot meets left, shifting forward to low. Inhaling to your back bend. Exhaling, press into the palms to lift the hips and take the feet into down dog. Head releases. Then we'll take the left leg up, inhale. Knee to nose, take your time stepping through. Right heel grounds. Feel the sit bones tuck under you as you rise up. Pushing the mat apart with the feet. Maybe the hands come together. Exhale, hands frame the left foot. It steps back to meet the right, shifting forward and moving through chaturanga. Inhale, opening to your back bend. Exhale, press into the feet and taking it to down dog. Letting the neck release, the head release, the jaw soft. And maybe you bend the knees a little bit, empty the breath, walking forward or floating. Lifting to your flat back, whether fingertips are on the floor, hands to shins. Exhale, taking a fold over the legs, bend the knees. Let the hips press forward and we're back to our chair pose. Press the armpits forward, let the throat come forward, the chin lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let the head go. Then expand through the spine as you come into your flat back. Relax the belly. Exhale, hands to the mat. Choosing your step back or float back. Rocking forward to lower. Inhale to your back bend. Press the sit bones forward. Feel the heart lifting. Exhale, tuck the chin, lifting the hips and take the feet over. Looking at the navel, let the sit bones press toward your nose. Then we'll take the right leg up, inhale. Knee to nose, take your time to step forward. Left heel rooting, pressing the mat apart. Bend the right knee, take your time. Coming all the way up to warrior one. Keep pressing the sit bones forward as you sink into the right knee. Press into that left heel. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot meets left. Shifting to lower. Breath in to your back bend. Breath out, tuck the chin, lifting to come into down dog. Looking at the navel. Then we'll take the left leg up. Inhale. Knee to nose, shifting forward. Land that foot. Right heel roots. Pressing the mat apart with the feet to rise up. Let the sit bones press forward. The heart lift. Exhale, hands come to the floor. Stepping left foot to meet right. Sit bones press forward to lower. Inhale to feel the lift. Exhale, taking it to down dog. Feeling the release of your breath, the release of your chin to look at your navel. And whether you walk forward or float, just take your time. And we'll come to a flat back, hands to shins, lengthening as you feel the lift, melting forward. Bend the knees, let the sit bones press under you to come into your chair pose, armpits press forward. And then we'll come to standing, just letting the hands come together at the heart for a moment. Feel the shoulders come out of the ears, soften into the knees, relax your face. So as we're feeling contraction, one of the places that I notice I have been feeling it is in my face. And everything's getting tense and my tongue is getting tight. So it's like this, the deepest recesses of our mouth, right? That this tension is starting to really solidify in. So maybe inviting the tongue to relax or even wiggling it around in your mouth a little bit so it can soften. Allow your eyes, the inner parts of your eyes, to be soft as well. And then we'll bring the big toes together. Let the arms reach out and up. Breath in, feel a lift through the heart, but push the hips forward. That expansion like we did in the beginning. And as the hands make their way together, keep pressing the sit bones forward. And then spiral the thighs inward. And then rising up, taking the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, reach the knuckles down towards the floor. And you can take the feet apart if you need a little more balance. Bend the knees and let yourself melt forward. Head releasing, hands reaching overhead as much as you're able. This is a little bit tough for you and you can't interlace the fingers. You could take a wrist and pull back or just rest your hands on your lower back and then hug the shoulders towards each other in your back. So feeling into what variation feels right for you. Then we'll reach the knuckles back, let the sit bones push forward to come up. Release the hands, let the feet come about hip distance apart, and we'll step back with the left foot. So it's as if that foot's just sliding on the track it's on. And that turns out just a little bit, but we're turning the thigh in and pressing into that back heel. The right knee might soften a little bit. And we'll take that interlace behind, reach the knuckles down, and press the mat apart with your feet. Now let the right sit bone press towards the right heel, the left sit bone press back towards your left heel, and you can aim your tailbone towards your back heel as well. So that pressing forward through the pelvis starts to open the front body. Invite the belly to just relax so that it can get a stretch. If we're pulling the belly in, it's going to resist. So see if you can relax it. Also relax the face and the tongue. Pull the shoulders down, let the throat press forward, the chin lift. And then inhale to come up. We'll press the sit bones forward a little bit. Releasing the hands, bend the right knee, and let the hands come next to the right foot. If you're not able to get all the way to the floor with your hands, you can use your blocks if you have blocks. If you don't have blocks, maybe use a really thick book, or in this case, a couple pillows might work too. If you're able to get your hands on the floor, bend the right knee a little bit and see if you can get your palms down. Press into the left heel like you're trying to push the mat back, and just let your nose come in towards your knee. And maybe the knee straightens if it feels safe. Breathe. Now we'll push the hips forward. Let the arms scoop forward. Press into the right heel like you're trying to turn that foot to the left to help you steady as you come up. Then looking forward, soften the right knee. Come onto the left big toe. Roll that thigh in and maybe sweep the arms back, letting yourself fly into Warrior 3. From here, just allow yourself to fold, bringing the fingertips to the mat. Take the left leg over to the right and let the ball of the foot come down. So I'll show you what that looks like from the front. So the feet are basically on the same line, but I'm just on the ball of the left foot. And I'm squeezing the thighs together, just getting into that outer hip a little bit. And you can just let the head release. And from here, we'll shift onto the right leg. Let the left leg stretch out to the left. And then let the feet come together. Bend the knees, lift through the heart. Maybe your palms come flat and you can feel a little lift that way. And then releasing, letting the hands come next to the feet. Lift the left leg. Taking a giant step back, come onto the ball of the left foot. Push the hips forward. And it's like you're trying to turn the mat with your right heel. So you're pushing your right heel towards the left side of the mat to steady you as you come up. Then we'll let right arm, reach back, left arm forward. Maybe you look over the left hand, or you can start to look back at the right hand. If you find that you're leaning way forward, maybe back off of the twist with the right hand. Bring it a little bit more towards your shoulder. Push the hips forward, especially on the right side. Then we'll come down gently onto the left knee. Let the right knee fold to the left. And maybe left hand comes onto the right knee and the right hand can wrap around behind you. If you're able to go a little deeper, you can have the hands facing the ceiling. Press the armpits forward and let yourself fold to the right, bringing the armpit of the left arm to the outside of the right leg. That hand can touch the floor. Then maybe left knee lifts and the right arm reaches for the front of the mat. Feel the spiral from your navel, from your ribs, from your chest. You're not wrenching with your arms. And then letting both hands release. We'll step back to plank. Feel free to stay here or move through the vinyasa. Rocking forward to lower. Breath in to your back bend. From here, instead of going directly into down dog, lift, push into your feet, look at your navel, Push the hips forward a little more. Push the chest away from the floor. Then we'll come into down dog. Letting the head release. And we'll take the feet to the hands, whether you float forward or just simply step or walk. Bringing the feet together. Bend the knees slightly. Let the sit bones push forward. Arms reach out and up. And they gently make their way together overhead. Keep pressing the sit bones forward. Again, relax the belly so you can feel the front body begin to expand and open as you breathe into your belly. Let the throat come forward, chin lift. And then inhale to come up. Take the hands around behind you to interlace. Press the hips forward as you reach the knuckles down. Soften the knees to take the fold. Feeling free to rest the backs of your hands on your lower back if that's more suitable for where your shoulders are today. Or just hold a wrist. If you have that interlace, maybe look at the navel and see if the hands can press together and come a little bit more towards the top of your mat. And we'll let the sit bones push forward to bring us up. And the feet come hip distance apart. So again, imagining each foot's on its own railroad track. We'll keep the right foot on its railroad track as we slide it back. Let the foot turn out. You might even turn the left foot in just a little bit, especially if you have a tendency to turn the front foot out in this pyramid shape. Feel the right thigh roll in to the back thigh. Press into the left heel like you're trying to turn that foot to the right. And then bending the knees. We'll take the hands behind, reaching down, breathing in to look up. Keep pushing the hips forward, spiraling that right thigh in. Breathe. Inhale to come up. Soften the left knee. Exhale, take your time coming forward. See if you can keep from arching the lower back on your way. Just keep the hips a little bit tucked under as the hands make their way to the floor. Again, palms can be on the floor or to blocks. Spiral the right thigh in. Push into that heel like you're trying to push the mat back with that foot. Keeping the left knee soft as your head relaxes down. Then you can feel into straightening the leg if the hamstrings give you the go-ahead. Then inhale, reach forward to come up, press into the front foot. Soften the left knee, swing the arms back as you float into warrior three. Roll the right thigh in, keeping the hips as level as you're able. Soften the left knee, let yourself melt, fingertips to the floor. Swing the right leg as far to the left as you can till it comes on the same line as the left foot. Come onto the ball of that foot. Then squeeze the inner thighs together so you come more center. Enjoying the stretch in the outer left hip. Letting your head release. Then we'll breathe in, little lift. So we can take the right leg out to the right. So it's level at the hip. And then releasing the feet together. You can either be on your fingertips or let your palms come to the floor. Let the heart lift a little bit as you shift your weight over your hands. Relax the belly. Then maybe lift the heels. Push into the floor. Maybe you're able to breathe into the belly. Some of you might float into a handstand. And then gently softening. And we'll step back. With the right foot coming onto the ball of that foot, Pushing the hips forward, we're coming up to our lunge. Oop, and then turning the mat out slightly by pressing into that left heel, like you're trying to turn that foot to the right a little bit. Left arm comes back, right arm forward. Maybe look back at the left hand, press the left sit bone forward. Relax. Relax the belly, relax the tongue, relax your jaw. You can stay here or come down onto the knee. And either right hand coming to the outside of the left knee and the left arm behind you, or keeping this shape for a moment, press the armpits forward, fold the left knee in, and then take the bow to bring the right hand to the outside of the foot. And then lifting the right knee, left arm can stretch towards the top of your mat. Feel the rotation from the navel, then the ribs, then the chest. Breathe. Relax the belly, relax the face. Then exhale, hands come to the floor. And we'll move through our vinyasa if you choose, or you can just hang out in plank or down dog. Breath in to open. Breath out, push into the feet, find that plank position, whether you're here or whether you're on the knees. And then take it into down dog, letting the head go. Feel the belly relax, the face relax. Noticing all the parts that want to contract when they don't necessarily need to. And from our down dog, we'll take the right leg up. Knee to nose, gently stepping forward. We'll come down onto the left knee, pushing the sit bones forward, sinking a little bit, lift the heart, then let the arms rise up. So for just a moment, we'll bring the palms in front of the chest. You can curl the left toes under, and then let that push the hips forward just a little more. Notice where you feel tension. Maybe it's the belly, maybe you feel your lower back starting to contract. Just invite it to relax for a minute. Then let the heart come slightly forward, the chin and throat slightly forward to lift. And maybe the arms stretch up. Breathe here. And then exhale, coming back to that prayer position. We'll release the hands to the floor and then bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. So I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing here on the right side. I'll lift the left knee, and then I'm just snuggling my right shoulder underneath the right knee. You can also just have your hands on the inside of the foot. If you feel comfortable here, push the hips forward and down a little bit, look outward. Then maybe the right hand reaches around toward your lower back. Push into the left hand, feel your hips level off, feel your hips level with the shoulders. Then maybe the left hand can catch the right wrist. Be gentle here. If it's feeling unsteady, just keep that left hand down. There's no need to risk injury to your hip joint. Then gently unwinding. We'll take the right foot a little more center and let the left knee come down again. And then we'll sit back onto the left foot. Slide the right foot in. So you have right foot, so your toes are basically level with your knee. If you're more flexible, you might be able to get it a little bit more in towards the groin. If being in this position is not a happy place for the knee, you can just stretch the left leg forward. It's fine as well. Then we'll take a breath in, and I'm just going to face you this way so you can see where I'm at. Breath in, we'll reach the arms up. Breath out, bend the elbows, push the hips forward, rotate to your right, And maybe take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, and the right hand might wrap around behind you. You might also be able to take the arm to the outside of the thigh with the hand next to the foot and the right hand behind you. Try to not stress your shoulders doing that. Let that be a rotation from the navel, then the ribs, then the chest, rather than trying to push with your shoulders. So you can stay relaxed in your shoulders. Maybe the right sit bone can press forward a little bit. Then breathing in, arms reach up. Breathing out, we'll bring the hands forward. You might stay here, just in this kind of forward bend-ish shape, or you might be able to take your right arm around to the outside of the right shin. So reaching around, like you're gonna scratch and itch back there. Then the left arm comes around to take hold of that hand. So I'll show you from this angle. So I have my wrist. Then you can take a gentle twist. Push that right sit bone forward. Breathe. And then unwinding. Take your time here. We're going to transition to sitting on the inside of the left foot. Again, if you have the legs straight out, you can just stay right there. That's fine too. If you want to come into that, have the left leg extended or bent, if that feels a little safer to you, please feel free to take that. But if you can be here on the inside of the foot, just go easy. So we'll let the sit bones tuck under. Pull the right knee in towards your chest so the foot comes off the floor, left hand comes to the outside of that foot. Right hand comes behind you, and then you can start to straighten the right leg, looking over the right shoulder. And the right leg can cross the body a little bit. Scoop those sit bones under. Breathe. Gently press into the left or right hand. Nice. Then we'll bend the right knee. You might take the foot to the inside of the left thigh, or you might be able to bring the foot all the way into the hip crease. So if you're working that, see if you can do it with your muscle first before you start wrenching on your knee joint. So get as far as you can with that, and then you can use the hand. So feel most of your weight on your right sit bone. Breathe in, arms reach up, rotating to your right. Left hand might just come to rest on the right knee, and the right hand might come behind you. Or you might be able to take the right arm all the way around, and in my case, I can take the right foot. If you have the right foot, you can take the next phase with the left hand, which is to bring the palm on the floor, snuggling your hands under you. And just looking over the right shoulder, but let your ear drop to the left. Notice if there's collapsing in the lower back. See if you can expand it by dropping the hips back slightly. And we'll keep the body rotating to the right, but let the head flip. So your right ear comes to your right shoulder and you're looking over your left. It's like you're trying to see what somebody's doing behind you. And then maybe the left palm can press down a little bit. Notice if one twist or the other is trying to dominate. So notice if you're trying to twist yourself to the right so much you're stressing your neck, or if you're trying to twist your neck so much to the left that you're unwinding the body. Beautiful. And then we'll gently unbind ourselves. Let the arms reach up. And release the right foot next to the left. Use your hands to come into this short lunge here. We'll take the hands forward. And as you shift your weight to your right leg, let the left leg lift for standing splits. Reach through the toes. Allow the head to drop. Maybe bend the right knee a little more. Reach up through the left toes. And then we'll bring feet together. You can walk the hands out, find your down dog, and feel free to hang there. Or maybe you move through a vinyasa, just listening to your body there. And once you've made your way back to down dog, scooping the sit bones toward your ribs. Rotate the elbows toward your feet. And we'll take the left leg up. Gently stepping forward. Coming down onto the left knee. Press the sit bones forward. And the arms reach forward and up. Well, actually, we'll bring them palms together at the heart. So feeling that right toes curl under, sit bones tuck under, sink into the hips just a little more. Then relax the belly. Let the heart move forward a little bit, then the throat comes forward, the chin can lift. So see if you can open the front body without collapsing your ribs on your pelvis and your back. Breathe in, then the arms might reach up. Relax the face. Breathe. And then exhale, hands back to prayer position. Hands come down. Left foot comes to the left a little bit. Feel free to have the hands on the inside, lifting the right knee, or taking the left shoulder underneath the left knee, hand on the outside of the foot. Let the hips press down and forward, and the heart open forward. Maybe stay here. Maybe push the hips forward a little more, and the left hand can come around behind the lower back. Maybe stay there. If you've got the balance, you feel steady, then you can reach around and take the left wrist with the right hand. Breathe in. Relax belly, relax the face. Breathe. And then unwinding. Take your time. Bringing the hands to the inside of the left foot. Then we'll wiggle it in a little bit. Coming down onto the right knee. And then sitting back to that heel. Drawing the left foot in. Okay, so again, the right leg can be forward in this position. If being on the knee is not working for you. But if you're able to be here, you might rotate the navel to the left, ribs and chest to the left, and just hug the left knee with the right arm, with the left hand behind you. Or maybe that elbow can come to the outside of the thigh. Looking over the left shoulder, press the left sit bone under and forward. Breathe, relax the belly, relax the face. And then inhale, we'll come back to center, letting the hands come in front of the right knee. Feel free to stay there, or maybe walk the hands forward a little bit, bringing the left armpit in front of the left shin. You want to keep hugging that shoulder, pushing the left sit bone forward, and then maybe the left arm comes around behind, and the right hand comes around to take the left wrist. Breathe. Pushing the sit bones forward. Enjoy that nice shoulder stretch. Breathing, softening, going into those deep dark waters within you. And gently unwinding the hands. Then we'll completely unwind, shifting to the inside of the right foot. Maybe straightening the leg out if sitting on the inside of the foot with the knee bent is not working. Or you can just bend the leg the other way so that the left foot can come up that way. But if you're able to be here, just take your time. Try to use your center to lift the foot. Then the right hand comes to the outside of the left foot. Left hand behind you, pulling the knee into the chest, but pressing the left sit bone forward. Let the knee come parallel to the floor, and then feel into straightening as you look over the left shoulder. Breathing here. Beautiful, and then we'll unwind, drawing the leg in, and then either bringing left foot here so that you have the right foot behind you. So those of you who have the leg out or in this direction, maybe you swing that leg behind, you have this pinwheel shape. If you're able to lift the left leg and bring it on top of the right leg, then use the hand to gingerly bring that foot in so you don't pull on the knee or the hip too much. And breathing in, arms reach up. Rotate over to your left with the left hand either on the floor behind you and the right hand on the left knee, or the left arm might come around behind you and you can take the left foot. If you have the left foot in that lotus position, then slide the right hand underneath the left knee with the palm on the floor, fingers facing in. Looking over the left shoulder, tilt your ears to the right. So your left ear is pointing up towards the ceiling. Breathe, relax. Notice if you're arching your back. See if you can let the top of the pelvis gently roll back a little. We'll keep the body twisting to the left, but let the head flip. So now your right ear is up towards the shoulder and you're looking over the right shoulder. Push down with the left hand if you can, if you have it on the floor. And then breathing in, gently unwinding. We'll come into our stubby lunge position. Letting the hands come forward. Take your time shifting your weight to your left leg. Maybe just take the right foot to the floor behind you to set up. Then lift the right leg, let the head drop. Reach through the right toes. And then we'll step the right foot back. Come on to the tops of the toes if you can. Press your palms into the floor, let them be shoulder distance apart or a little wider. And then come onto the toes, top of the toes. On the left foot as well, push the hips forward and imagine you're pulling yourself in. Maybe you bend the knees to help you do that. Pull the knees up towards the throat, tuck the chin, and then we'll let the knees come down. Take the feet apart. The knees can come apart a little bit. And again, only if you're able, come to sitting between the feet. If that's not feeling great, you can use a block or a pillow, or even a rolled up blanket or a towel underneath the pelvis. This block's a little high for me. Or maybe you just, if you're able to sit on the feet and that feels okay on your knees, you can do that as well. And we'll start to walk the hands back. So fingers facing forward, press the shoulders forward, press the sit bones under you. So you're trying to lift your pubic bone up towards the ceiling. Maybe stay here on the hands. If you're kind of in the halfway place as I am in this position, maybe you bring something under your elbows and you can come down a little bit more. But if you're able to come onto your elbows completely to the floor, you can work that as well. We'll bring the throat forward and the chin can lift. So if this starts to stress the neck out, having something under your head that has some height so you can just relax into it might help. And over the next few breaths, you might find that your body kind of relaxes. That contraction, especially here in the front body, just relax the belly. And you might find that you can come down with the head. Again, it might take a second for the contraction to know that you're safe. And you might even help that a little bit. So in my case, I always tend to be a little bit tight in the hip flexors and the quads. So I'm going to tuck my chin a little bit, squeeze my quad muscles, my front thighs, lift the hips a little bit. Just allow that tension to really be there. Honor it so that it can just start to relax as it lets go. Then the shoulders might settle. Breathe wherever you are. Still got a little stressing going on, so I'm going to do that again, contracting the quads. Maybe even push my feet into the floor and then let that relax. And some of you might be flexible enough to comfortably let the arms come overhead or bring the knees together. And when you're ready to come up, tuck the chin, tuck the pubic bone towards the ceiling, scoot the elbows under you, and just start to walk the hands forward. Give yourself a moment here, just resting your hands on your thighs or bringing your hands in front of your belly and just gazing outward. Let the sit bones tuck under and then feel the back of your rib cage floating off the pelvis and relax your belly. Just let your Buddha belly hang out. You can gaze down the bridge of the nose, feel your nervous system gently settling. Beautiful. And then from here, we'll take the hands in front of the knees, push down into the floor, feel that lift your hips. Some of you might be able to scoop those sit bones forward a little more and take the knees off the floor. Some of you might even be able to take the feet up too. Keep pushing the hands into the floor, pressing the sit bones under you. And if that lifts your feet off the floor and you want to take a vinyasa, you can come into your plank from there. The rest of us will just come onto hands and knees, pressing the sit bones slightly forward. Press into the hands so you feel your chest active, lengthening the lower back. Then we'll rock forward, lowering all the way down. Just taking a moment, just here in this prostration, expanding the front body against the earth. The hands can be flat on the floor, or they can come together. Keep the right arm overhead, press the pubic bone into the mat, lengthen your body just a little bit as you relax the belly and breathe in. And then lift the left, you can turn your head to the left. Left hand comes next to the chest, come onto the tippy fingers, and just let yourself roll onto your right side and take the left foot to the floor behind you. Maybe you stay on the ball of the foot, or maybe that foot can come flat. Press that left hip forward just a little bit. And then we'll roll back to the middle. Left arm extends overhead. Right hand comes next to the shoulder, coming onto the tippy fingers. Then rolling to the left side, bending the right knee. Either being on the ball of that foot or the heel can come down. And then from there, you can just let yourself roll onto your back. Extend the legs, reach the arms overhead, just mirroring that expansion that you just did on your belly. Spreading the toes as you point them, spreading the fingers. And then we'll bring the feet flat to the mat. Let the palms come together over the chest. Reach for the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades come off the floor. And let the lower back gently flatten into the mat. Press the back of your head into the floor. Then the hands can come down next to the hips. The legs can reach up. You can stay there. Press down into the arms. Reaching the feet over your head. And as your hips come up, holding your pelvis with the fingers up towards the ceiling. You're welcome to stay there. Or next version, press the palms down, lift a little higher, Then the hands can come towards your ribs. Press the feet away from your head and let the toes spread. Relax your jaw, relax the tongue and the face. Nice, and then we'll slide the hands down towards the hips and let the feet gently come overhead towards plow. The feet touch the floor. You can take a number of variations, maybe interlacing the fingers, pressing the forearm onto the floor, squeezing your shoulder blades together, creating a little space between your neck and the floor. The toes might be able to curl under and you can push back into your heels. And now we'll bring the hands to the back again if you're in this position. If the legs are just straight up, feel free to continue there, or you can bring your feet down and bend your knees. So if you're now back in this shoulder stand, turn your hands so your fingers are facing out and your thumbs are close to your spine. Then let one leg come overhead like you just had it in plow, and the other leg goes the opposite direction. Bend that knee, and then let the hips kind of flip over to land that foot, and then the other foot lands. So you're kind of in a little more intense version of bridge. Make sure your feet are parallel. Spiral the thighs in, and breathe. Breathe into the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Those of you who have the feet on the floor, you can lift up into a regular bridge, tucking the pelvis under to lift up, the hands next to the hips. And if you want to go deeper, you can take the hands out, bring them next to your ears with the fingers tucking in toward your shoulders, elbows up towards the ceiling. And then push into your hands, push the knees towards your feet, then lift the shoulders. You might find you can walk the feet towards your hands a little bit and start to straighten the legs. Doing a lot of opening of the front body, so you might find you can go a little deeper. Breathe into the belly, relax the front body. Then tuck the chin. Take your time. Coming on down. Just let yourself rest with your feet on the floor for a moment. And then when you feel ready, you can extend the legs out on the floor. I'm just going to swing around. So once you're settling into Shavasana, just feel the shoulder blades snuggle under you. The hands are about 30 degrees away from the hips. The feet or the legs are nice and wide enough for your feet to turn out. Let the chin tuck towards the throat and relax. So as I call out certain body parts, you can just feel if you feel contracted there. And if you do, maybe allow that contraction to deepen. Allow it to tighten or tense just a little more. And then you might find that you're more able to relax. So we'll start with the pelvic floor. In the front of the pelvic floor. And just noticing if there's tension there. If there is, just let it deepen as if you're trying to hold back urination. And then let it go. And the pelvic floor in the back, as if you're trying to hold back eliminating your bowels. You can just give that a little squeeze and release. And then feeling the middle part, if it feels contracted and tense, Give it a little more contraction and then let it go. And the lower back, you feel tension there, as if you're trying to tilt your pelvis back, and then let it go. Let the belly be relaxed and open, just like a baby. Traveling up through the spine, feeling into the neck and the throat. To the shoulders, the elbows, the hands. Feeling your jaw. And if you feel tension in the jaw, just allow it to move around a little bit. And then feel that relaxation travel into your ears and your temples. Feel tension in the tongue. And allow that to move around a little bit. And then as it settles, just relaxing to the bottom of the mouth. And if you feel tension in your eyelids, you can just do some gentle blinking and then let that go. If you have tension in your eyes, you can just circle your eyes around in one direction and then the other. Just allow your eyes to relax. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. From deep in the muddy waters, the pure blossom of the lotus flower begins to rise. Awakened by the light of the sun, drawn to the surface. And expanding and blossoming open, nourished by the deep dark. And the more that we're able to be present to the dark, muddy, murky waters of our deepest being, the more we're able to connect to the treasure and the beauty that is ready to be birthed forth from that place. Feel free to rest here in Shavasana as long as you like. When you are ready to come up, just open your hands, spread the toes. Feel your circulation beginning to flow outward, expanding. And just let that expansion help you take a nice stretch with the arms over the head, reaching through the toes. And gently bending the knees to bring the feet to the floor and roll to your side. Letting your hands help bring you to a seat. We'll close our practice this evening with a round of Om, if you care to join me. Just allow that belly to relax and hang out. And we'll take a deep breath into it.